Okay, hi guys. I don't know what happened to the last video, but it got disconnected somehow and didn't save properly. So here we go again. I'm going to take you into KDP and I'm going to walk you through step by step on how exactly to get your book uploaded into KDP, what's important, what's not important, and we're going to go from there. So I'm just going to share my screen here and I will take you into KDP. So once you get into KDP, you want to create your account. So take a few minutes to do this. This is where you're putting in all of your banking information, the stuff that's really important in order to get paid for your book. There is a tax thing in there. It'll ask for your TIN, which is your tax information number. In Canada, we refer to that as a SIN number. So I'm sure it's the same in the States, social insurance number, and you put that in under TIN. So make sure that you make a note of that. And again, if you have any questions when you're setting up your account, feel free to reach out. I got you. So once you do that, you're going to come into your bookshelf. Okay. Under bookshelf here, this is where you're going to press create. Okay. So you're going to come into create. I'm going to pull up one that I've already done so that you can sort of get an idea from that. So here, I'll just come to this one. I think I can come into here, edit print book details. Okay. So you're going to click on create for that. Okay. So that big create button, that's what you're going to use to start fresh, right? From brand new. Okay. So here we have create. You're going to select your language. I highly suggest just using English, which I think that that's what everybody's going to use in this program. So English is the language. Your book title, you cannot change your book title after it has been published. There are things that you can adjust after the book has been published, but the book title is not. It's going to stay the same. So after you've published, you're going to have to keep that book the exact same. So we're going to put in the book title. Then you're going to add in a subtitle. Your subtitle is really important. You can see here kind of, I'm sorry that it's grayed out, but you can see here how I've capitalized all of the main words in this. So this is the part of your book that's going to be shown on the page on Amazon. You want those main words. They are also considered keywords, which is super helpful. So you want those to show up like nice and bright and big. So always capitalize the main words there. I know it's kind of not grammatically correct, but that's what we're going to do. So 30-day challenge tracker to create new habits and achieve your massive goals finally. Excuse me. That is what I have in for this little tracker thing that I made. And again, your subtitle cannot be edited after the book has been published. So make sure that you really like put a nice description in there of what the book is. But then we are going to be able to have a space where we're writing a full on description of the book. So you want that one to stand out though. So the book title and then your subtitle. You don't have to worry about series. Don't worry about that. We're not getting into series here. Even if you end up having a few books that are similar to one another, we're still not going to do series because the algorithm on Amazon shows that they don't show up as much. So leave that one out and then you can leave out the edition number. Okay. Your author name, I'm assuming that everybody's going to use like their first and last name. However, you can make up something here as long as it's nobody else's name. So you could easily put in, your Instagram handle or whatever you feel comfortable with. Most of us will just be using our first and last name, but again, it's what you're comfortable with. So it can be a pen name as well. Any contributors, if you'd like to add them in here, you feel free definitely to add them in. If somebody helped you with editing the book, if somebody helped you with illustration, with photography, things like that, you can add those in there. You can add multiple people in here, but again, you can always credit them in the book too. So the description, you want to get very descriptive here. You don't want to necessarily rewrite what you have in the subtitle, but you can definitely. So you want to put in as many descriptive words as you can that are going to really stand out to whoever's reading this. Okay, so I added in like some bullet points here of what the book entails and a little description as well, something that's really eye-catching. So you've got a lot of characters here. You've got 4,000 characters to work with, so feel free to use them. You don't have to use them all. I don't know if I would read a whole 4,000, but anyway, you've got a lot there. When it comes to copyright, now I am going to send out an example of a copyright that you can totally use. You can make up your own, staying within the same realm of what the copyright page will say. You do not have to go and buy or purchase a copyright. That's as soon as your idea comes from your mind down to paper or onto your computer, it's considered copyrighted because it is already your idea that's being put out there. So don't worry about copyright. Unless that's something that's extremely important to you, then you can invest in getting an actual copyright done, which in Canada, I know it costs about $130. So you can do that, but this will hold up. I'm not going to give you any legal advice. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer. However, from my research that I've done, this here has some holding in a court of law. But if somebody went and purchased a copyright against your work, then that could be contested, I'm sure. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you any legal advice, but I do know that you do own the copyright. So that's good. Your keywords, very important here. You really want to utilize all of these 7 boxes, and you can kind of see what I've done here. So I've put in challenge tracker, logbook, accountability, 30-day challenge, fitness tracker, meal planning, because somebody could use that for this, gifts for mom, sister, friend, dad. Use these 7 boxes and put in keywords that you think somebody might search in Amazon. We don't want to be reusing a lot of the information that we've already put in the subtitle or the title of the book, but you can see that I did add in 30-day challenge here just to be kind of on the safe side there. But yeah, you can add anything in here that sort of pertains. Think of keywords as hashtags. So they're searchables, right? So if you're searching for a gift for mom, then chances are this one's going to show up at some point on some page. Okay, so utilize all 7 boxes here. You can put in multiple words into each one, and yeah, use them up. Then you've got categories. You can choose up to 2 categories, so you can browse the categories here. You can also come back and change the keywords after a while, and you can change your categories as well. So after your book has been sitting on Amazon for a little while, you can always come back in here and be like, I'm going to adjust this and see what happens. So you can do that. For this one here, I've picked all of mine are nonfiction, mind, body, spirit, general, health and fitness, and general. So feel free to kind of browse through all of the categories. There's so many of them. Oh my gosh, every single one of them has like a drop down. So feel free to browse through those, but those are where the books are going to be most searched. Okay. So you don't have to worry about the low content. So I, as a little test here, I decided to click on the low content book because mine is a journal and it's extremely repetitive. I will show it to you in here if I can. Very repetitive. Now, as I can tell from your books, you're going to have a little bit more information in there. Even if the meat of the book is a lot of the same pages, you're still going to have quite a bit of information at the beginning, maybe. And if not, then you can click low content book, and Amazon, while it's going through, it'll let you know if it is in fact considered a low content book or if it's considered like a higher content book. So from what I can tell in this workshop, a lot of us are doing like more high content. I like to throw out some low content books just to see what happens because it's a lot of fun. So yeah, so you can either leave that unchecked, or if you feel like it is a low content book, then you can check it. Again, you'll be notified if it doesn't work in that category. And again, you can ask me, we can go over your book specifically and we can find out if it is in fact a low content or a high content book. Does this book contain language, situations, or images inappropriate for children under 18 years of age? That's totally up to you. You can click yes or no, whatever one works for your book. And then save and continue. And then now we come into this. So this book, so if this was considered as it is like a low content book, it will be published. You'll have an option here to publish with a free KDP ISBN. And that's what you're going to check. Okay. So right now, this one says publish without an ISBN because it was considered a low content book. But yours, it'll have that ISBN number. So again, that's something that we can discuss one-on-one and see what sticks. So you'll have like an ISBN prompt there that you can select. Your publication date, you can just leave that one blank because it'll automatically populate to the date that your book was published and went live on Amazon. So you can leave that one blank. Don't worry about the publication date. Here's the ink and paper type. So you can kind of go through here. I've already selected black and white interior with white paper, but and I can't change the type after the book has been published, but this was the easiest way to kind of give you a demo. You can flip through these and see which ones you'd like. Again, the black and white interior on white paper is the one that gives you the most return on your royalties. So that one costs less to print. So this is the one that I highly suggest. I have had people doing standard color or premium color with white paper. And I mean, they pay a little bit more, but that's how they wanted their book to look. So it's all about what you would like. But when you come in here, you're going to be able to click through and you'll see like an example over here of what that kind of looks like as far as the computer can tell. Your trim size, so you're going to want to select your 6x9, or you can select a different size here, but it's whatever your manuscript is already. So you don't want to go adjusting that because then you're going to run into issues later. So whatever your trim size is that you've already selected, so either 6x9, 7x10, 8.5x11, whatever it was that you decided to go with for your book, you put it in here. It'll already have like 6x9s usually highlighted there. And then your bleed settings, we already went over this. So if it's a bleed or no bleed, now if there is any pages at all, even if there's one page where something goes to the outside of the margins, then you're going to select a bleed for PDF only, bleed. Okay, the whole book. Even if it's only one page, one graphic in one spot, you're still going to select bleed. Otherwise, it'll be no bleed and it'll show up with the margins. Everything will be like inside the margins and everything will fit properly. So it's whatever you have already got uploaded there or done in your manuscript. Then you've got your matte and glossy options here. So a matte finish, here's an example. I don't know if you can really tell, but here's an example of a matte finish book. So my book, matte finish, it's not glossy as you can kind of tell. It's very matte, feels like butter. I love these books. They're so well done. Oh my gosh. So that's a matte book. And here's an example of a glossy finish. So you can kind of tell, obviously, the difference. But that's how the glossy finish looks. It looks really nice on black. So if your cover is going to be black, I really, really like the glossy finish for that. It doesn't make a huge difference in cost of printing. So if you'd like to have a glossy book, totally go for it. Then you're going to upload your paperback manuscript. You can do this multiple times. So like if you wanted to go back and make adjustments to the manuscript at any time, you can come back in and re-upload a new manuscript. It's got to stay within the same kind of range of what you already did. You don't want to upload a new manuscript under the same title and have it be a completely different book, but you can go in and make adjustments. If there was some spelling mistakes or if there's something that you noticed that you didn't quite like, you can go back and fix it. So upload paperback manuscript, and this is where you click on this, and then it'll bring you to your file and you can just upload it there. So you want to make sure that your file is saved in PDF print. Okay. Make sure that that is saved in PDF print, and then you're going to upload it here. As far as the cover, you can also adjust covers. This was just one that I did kind of, on the fly. You can adjust your cover if you want to at any time. So you can change the color, you can change the finish, you can change whatever you'd like to. Okay, so you would just come back in here and re-upload a new cover file. So make sure that you're saving on Canva your cover file and your manuscript file separately. Okay, they're both going to be saved as PDF print, but they're going to be saved differently. Okay, so 2 different files. So you don't want to have it all in one because KDP is not able to separate those 2. So upload manuscript, upload cover file. Okay, your cover will automatically have a barcode put on it from KDP. We went over that last week with the, with saving room for, on that template. It shows you right there on the template where you don't want to put anything because that's where the barcode's going to go. Okay, so as you can see, KDP has already put a little barcode on mine. And then you get to launch previewer. So once those 2 things are uploaded, you select launch previewer. It can take a few minutes to show up. But oh my gosh, this is the fun part because now you get to flip through your book. So you get to flip right through. You can start to notice if there is anything outside the margins. If anything is outside the margins at any time, it's going to appear over here. You're going to get a big red line. It's going to say error, and then it'll tell you what pages, it'll tell you what the error is, and then you can go back and adjust and re-upload your files. But you don't have to go through all of the whole process again. You can just simply skip right ahead to upload manuscript, upload cover, and then go back into the launch previewer. So you can see, you can flip it right through so that you're seeing exactly what the reader's going to see when they flip through. So when my readers open this little book, the first page that they'll see on the right is going to be this 30-day challenge tracker belongs to. And then on the left, and then on the right, and then on the left, and then on the right, and so on and so forth. And then you can click approve down here once you have approved it. So then after you get the launch previewer, this is the fun part. It's going to show up here what the printing cost is. So the printing cost for this book is $2.15. Super cheap, which is great. You get to, I'm going to take you to the next page, but you want to keep that in mind and it'll automatically populate. And you can see that. So this next stop is where we're going to be able to put the price in. This is exciting. Oh, sorry. Okay, so a few things. You want to select all territories, worldwide rights. Definitely select all territories. Why not? You might as well. Then your primary marketplace. So where are people going to find this the most? Are they going to be Amazon.com, Amazon? I'm actually going to adjust this one to Amazon.ca because a lot of my people are in Canada. Not that I'm really like uploading this book I'm not telling anybody about it. This one in particular, this was just one that I did for fun and can just kind of like put it out there and see what happens with it. And this is also another tool that you have. You can just kind of throw out some books if you want to, and you don't even have to tell anybody about them and just kind of see what happens and sit back and collect some royalties. Doesn't hurt. So you can select your primary marketplace. A lot of us, we're either going to use Amazon.com or Amazon.ca. It's just kind of like where most people are going to be shopping from, okay, that are going to look for your book. So doesn't matter, you can do either or. So this will automatically populate in here. I put the book down for $6.88. I'll just wipe this. I'll wipe this out. Okay, so that you can see. So now you get to select what price your book is going to be. So this is telling me here, based on the price of printing, the minimum that I can ask in order to gain any royalties is $4.70. I made my book, and same for US dollars. So I put mine at 688 US. And then it just, whoops, 688 US. It should just automatically populate here. So it might, I think it was 886. Let's just see what happens there. Okay, yeah. 886 Canadian, because that was I changed my primary marketplace. So the royalty that I'm going to make off of each book is going to be $2.50. The printing cost changed up here just because of the conversion rate. So as you can see, it's still $2.15 American. But yeah, so that changed there. But the royalty that I get on each of these books is $2.50, which really isn't that bad for something that took me like, a couple hours to put out, and then we'll just see what happens with it. And then you can play around with the keywords. So $2.50 is what I'm going to get. Now, if I changed the price and wanted to make it $25 US, oh, sorry, it's going to do that again. I shouldn't have done that. I'll come up here, and you can play around with these prices too and just kind of see. So if my book was $25, I'd be making $12.18 per book, which is a pretty good royalty, definitely to have. But again, you can play around with this and see what fits, but you can select any price. Just kind of do a little bit of market research, but don't get stuck in comparison mode. Whatever you want to put down for your book price, put that down. You have the minimum, you have the maximum, go with your gut. Always. So you can see here, the rate is 60%. So we get 60% of the royalties, which calculates to the $2.50 because it's 60% of the sale price minus the cost of printing. And that leaves us with $2.50. $1.98 American, which with the conversion rate works out. And then as you can see, it just automatically populates to all of the other territories. And then you get to publish your paperback book. So you'll select publish your paperback book and you're off to the races. Hang tight. I'm just going to turn on this light. There we go. It was getting dark in here. So yeah, so once you hit publish, you're published. It'll take, as I said earlier, about 72 hours in order for the book to show up live on Amazon. But yeah, you've got it. It's there. So there's really not a lot with KDP. It's just kind of a little bit of effort to get it in there and get it rolling. So I'm going to stop this share. Again, if anybody has any questions or any insights or anything that they want to work on one-on-one, feel free to reach out to me. I'm totally here for you. And yeah, but that's KDP. It's pretty easy to use. There are just kind of a little, few tricky things in there to iron out, but yeah, if you're good, you're good. So yeah, let me know if anybody has any questions. And other than that, I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye.